Good morning, all.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning, ma'am.
Morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Okay. So, did you all try yesterday's homeworks?
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Have you got any doubt in it?
No, ma'am.
No. Did you
No,
try
ma'am.
the 23rd one?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. You are able to do it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, I did not get the answer for the 23rd one.
23rd one. Okay. I'll just explain you by the end of the session. Okay. Fine. So we'll now start with today's class. As usual, I'll just brush up with the formulae of sphere once again. Fine. Hope you all learned it, right? Or you all thorough with formulae of cylinder, cone, and sphere now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now, can you tell me the conversion? What is 1 centimeter? 1 millimeter is equal to dash centimeter.
10 centimeters.
Ma'am, 0.1.
Centimeter.
0.1.
0.1 centimeter. Okay. And 1 centimeter is equal to dash meters.
0.01.
Ma'am,
0.01.
0.01.
Okay. And now, what is the volume of hollow cylinder? Volume of hollow cylinder.
0.
Volume.
Ma'am, pi
Ma'am,
into
the volume of the
I
material.
into r square minus big R square minus
big R square minus small r square into h.
See, how long
Yes.
did it take for you people to think and say it? I think most of you turned over the pages and have told it, right? Okay, fine. So please be thorough with all the formulae. Okay. Now, what is volume of sphere?
4 by
4 by 3 pi r
3
cube.
pi r cube.
Okay. Surface area of sphere?
Ma'am, 4 pi r
4 pi r square.
Okay. When you go to a spherical shell, okay. Now, what is the thickness of the shell?
R minus
Big R minus small.
Big R. What does big R represent? What does small r represent?
Big R is external radius, small r is internal radius.
Internal radius. Okay. Now, when you go to a hemisphere, what is the curved surface area? of
अरे ताता येऊ काय नव्हती
2 pi r square.
2 pi
2 pi r square.
R square.
The total surface area?
ચાર્જની લેંગ્વેજ ચાલી ફિઝિકલી પ્રેઝન્ટ હોવાનું વધારે કઈ
3 pi r square.
સારું તમે તમારી રીતે ધ્યાન આપો
I could hear someone talking. Who's it?
Jivika.
Okay, please remain silent. Okay, fine. Now, so we'll just move on to the 24th question. Okay, these are the formulae which we just saw now. We'll just move on to the 24th question. Have you received the PDF of this?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you send it on WebGenie?
Yes. Did you receive yesterday's and today's? No.
No, ma'am, we didn't receive yesterday's.
Is it? Okay, I'll just continue.
Ma'am, we did.
Okay, fine. Now, I'll just read out the 24th question for you. The adjoining figure represents a solid consisting of a cylinder surmounted by a cone at one end and hemisphere at the other end. Given that common radius is equal to 3.5 centimeters, the height of the cylinder is 6.5 centimeters and the total height is 12.8 centimeters. Calculate the volume of the solid correct to the nearest integer. Okay, so first this is the figure which has been given to you. Okay, in the middle there is a cylinder. You have it in the middle, and one end of the cylinder is covered by a hemisphere, and the other end of the cylinder is covered by a cone. Okay, fine. Now, the measurements, few measurements are being given. The total height of the solid is being given to us, which is 12.8 centimeters. and the height of just the cylinder is also given, which is 6.5 centimeters. Okay, now can you find out the height of the cone? Because what is being asked to us, you have been asked to calculate the volume of the solid. So what will be the formula for volume of the solid? Your solid here is comprising of the hemisphere, the cylinder, and also the cone. So what will be the formula for the volume of the solid here? It will be the volume of hemisphere. Yes.
Volume of the hemisphere plus volume of the cylinder plus volume of the
Plus
cone.
volume of the cone. Okay. So when you consider the volume of the hemisphere, you don't have, you just have radius there, no height. Okay. So height is not required there. When you consider volume of the cylinder, you have got height and R, H and R there. Here H is already known and R is also given to us. And when you move on to volume of cone, there you need to calculate you have got H and R. So there you need to calculate H. Okay. So now we'll just we'll calculate the height of the cone and just we'll move on to the to find out the volume of the whole solid. Okay. So first we'll write down what is being given to us. So hemisphere, you have got hemisphere, cylinder, and cone. And it is being given that you have a common radius 3.5. Okay, so I have mentioned every radius to be R. I haven't separated it using suffix because they have already mentioned in the question that everything has got the common radius, which is 3.5 centimeters. So everything has been taken to be R itself without any suffix. Okay, now let us move on to the next, which is height. Height of the cylinder is being given, which is 6.5 centimeters. Here for sure you need to give the suffix because height of the cone is not being, it is not being mentioned that height of cone has to be equal to height of cylinder. Okay. So as both are going to be different, you need to separate it using the suffixes. So HCY is taken to be 6.5 centimeters. And now we are in need of height of the cone that we need to calculate. How do you calculate the height of the cone? For that, it is being given that total height of the solid is, it is given to be 12.8 centimeters. Okay, and now we know that height of the cylinder, which is a part of the solid, it is 6.5 centimeters. Okay, now if you need to height of the cone, it should be like, how can you go with it? The height of the hemisphere plus height of the cylinder plus height of the cone will be equal to the total height of the solid, right? Right?
Ma'am, the height of the hemisphere will be equal to its radius.
Radius, exactly. That I think we saw it in one of the questions yesterday itself. Hemisphere, we draw the line from over here, right? So it is actually, see, yeah, here it is. When we draw a line from the center of the hemisphere to any part of the hemisphere, that will denote your radius. Now here again we are drawing it from the center. Your height denotes the the line from the center to the middle part of it. Okay, so this again will represent your radius. It is already been given that the common radius is 3.5. That is also going to be the height of the hemisphere. So the R is, the radius of the hemisphere is equal to height of the hemisphere, which is 3.5 centimeters. Now, height of cylinder is 6.5 centimeters. Height of the whole solid is given. So you just need to substitute the values and find out the height of the cone. Is this clear? Here again, represent height of the cone using the suffix because height, there are two heights already here. That of cylinder and that of cone. So separate it and you should distinguish it. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So now what do you need to calculate? You need to calculate the volume of the solid. So that is what being asked here. I've just given the this thing. What is it? Dimensions just to make it easy for the simplification as we have gone for the next page. Okay, now we just want to find out the volume of the solid. So what will be the formula for volume of solid? It will be the volume of hemisphere plus volume of cylinder plus volume of cone. Now we know the formula of all these. What is the formula for volume of hemisphere?
2 by 3 pi r.
2 by 3 pi
Pi
r
r cube, cubic units. Units is very important. Volume of cylinder?
Pi r square.
pi r square
Pi
h
r square
cubic
h cubic
units.
units. Good. And then volume of cone?
1 by
1 by
3
3 pi r square h
cubic
cubic
units.
units.
Very good. Okay, so that is what has been mentioned. Volume of hemisphere, volume of cone, volume of cylinder. Sorry. Okay, so now you just need to substitute all these formulae in equation number 1. Okay, so what will be your volume of solid? It is, when you substitute, you get this. Now, when you look at all the three terms, you have got pi to be common in all the three terms, and also as we have got common radius, the value of r is all going to be the same throughout, right? Okay, so now in first term you have got r cube, second term r square, and third term r square. So you can take r square to be common outside. So altogether you can have pi into r square to be common outside. So when into, what is left out in the first term? It is 2 by 3 r plus second term hcy plus the third term is 1 upon 3 hc. Okay. Now it is just application. You just need to substitute the values which we have already, which is already given and which we have found out, and you just need to get the answer. Is this clear? I've just left the substitution part for your solving. By the way, are you all doing these questions in your classwork notes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So please make sure that you do all these in your classwork notes and your homeworks in your homework notes separately. Okay. Once the class is, once the school is open, we'll collect and check it. Is that clear? Okay.
Yes,
So now we'll just move on to the 26th question. Because 25th is a homework for you. So first I'll just explain the 25th question first and we move on to the 26th. Is that clear? I'll just read out the 25th question. The adjoining figure represents a solid consisting of a right circular cylinder with a hemisphere at one end and a cone at the other. Their common radius is 7 centimeter. The height of the cylinder and cone each is 4 centimeter. Find the volume of the solid. Here it is just direct substitution of all the values because the radius of everything is given. What is the radius? 7 centimeter. It is common for everything. Okay. And then the height of the cylinder is also given. The height of the cone is also given. What is it?
4 centimeter.
4 centimeter each. Both height of the cone is also 4 centimeter. Height of the cylinder is also 4 centimeters. So you just need to substitute. You just need to substitute the formula for volume of solid. Here, what will be the formula for volume of solid? What is the formula for volume of solid?
Volume of this hemisphere plus volume of the
plus
cylinder
volume
plus
of
volume of
Two hemispheres plus volume of the cylinder.
plus volume of cone. Okay, so you can just substitute the values and get it. Is this clear?
Can we just take the volume of a whole sphere?
Yes, ma'am.
Volume of
One sphere.
one sphere.
Not the hemisphere, only the sphere.
No, but here it is mentioned that only hemisphere is given, right? It's not a sphere.
Ma'am, he's saying both the hemispheres may form a sphere. So why can't we take the volume of sphere only?
There are no two hemispheres. There's one hemisphere, a cylinder and a cone, right?
Ma'am, they're talking about the 26th one.
26th question. Okay. Fine. I did not move to the 26th. I was still in 26th. We just see the 26th question now. I'll just read out. A solid is in the form of a cylinder with hemispherical ends. The total height of the solid is 19 centimeter and the diameter of the cylinder is 7 centimeter. find the volume and surface area of the solid. Okay, so what is being given? You have a cylinder over here and two hemispheres, one on top and one at the bottom. Okay, and moreover, yeah, as you said, instead of considering two hemispheres, you can also consider it as a sphere because the dimensions are the same for both. Okay, fine. Now, but I have considered it as two hemispheres and I have I've gone with the answers. Okay, we'll just look into it. Fine. Now, we just write down what is being given to us. The total height is of, this is given to be 19 centimeters and the diameter of the, I'm sorry, cylinder is given to be 7 centimeters. Is this diameter going to be the diameter of the hemisphere also? Is the diameter of the cylinder equal to the diameter of the hemisphere?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Okay. So
Yes,
here
ma'am.
again we have a common diameter and so for again a common radius. So what will be the value of radius here? It will be half of diameter, which is nothing but 3.5 centimeters. Okay. Now, here again, what do you need to calculate? You need to calculate volume and surface area. So, volume in the sense, you need to find out, if you need to find out volume of the cylinder, you need the value of height, h of the cylinder. So, how do we calculate h now? The height of the whole solid is being given to us. Okay, and as the
Ma'am,
radius
7
of
minus
hemisphere is
19.
no, sorry,
7 minus 19.
7 minus,
It's 12 centimeters.
yeah, it's already been given. Okay, fine. So we'll just look at it, how it goes. Now the total height of the solid is equal to height of the two hemispheres plus the height of the cylinder. So height of one hemisphere is 3.5. So it is 3.5 plus 3.5 plus height of the cylinder. So from that you get it. Okay, fine. Now you need to calculate the volume of the solid. So here the solid is comprising of two hemispheres, one on top, one at the bottom, plus the volume of cylinder. So what is the formula for volume of hemisphere?
2 by 3 pi
2
r
by
cube
3
cubic
pi
Pi
r
r
meter.
cube and volume of cylinder?
Oh, pi r cube.
pi r
Pi r
square
square
h.
h. Okay. Now again here height has to be separated because using the suffix, because the total height is given to be h. Okay, we have taken the total height to be h. So here we give that a height of cylinder to be hcy. Okay, now we just substitute it. Therefore volume of solid is, you are just substituting it in the formula. Why is it 2 into this? Because you have got two hemispheres. Okay, so that is why I've put this 2 into that. Yes, you can also mention it to be, just you can directly put it to be the volume of sphere, which is 4 by 3 pi r cube. Okay. Now, when you look at both these terms, you have got pi to be common, and as we have a common radius, this you have got r square also common in both the terms. So when we take that outside, you will be left out with the first term. You have got 4 upon 3 r plus hcy. Now it is just substitution of the values. I've just given it just to make sure, to make it easy for you to do the calculation. So substitute r and substitute hcy so that you end up with the answer. Is this clear for you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, got it?
Yes,
Got
ma'am.
the question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Now, we'll just move on to the 27th question. Oh, so I'm sorry. There's one more thing left out over here. Surface area of the solid. So how do you find out the surface area of the solid? What is the formula? Surface area in the sense the whole covered area. Okay, the whole area which is being covered, which can be viewed outside. That is your surface area. So what is it? It is nothing but the curved surface area of the two hemispheres, because In both the hemispheres, what you can view is just the I'll just show the picture once. Yeah, you're able to see it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So in both the hemispheres, whatever is viewed outside will come under your surface area. Okay, so it is just the curved surface area of this hemisphere and curved surface area of this hemisphere plus the curved surface area of the cylinder is what you will be able to see outside. Okay, so that will be the formula for your surface area of the solid. So we have a formula for surface area of hemisphere, which is 2 pi r square units, and curved surface area of cylinder to be 2 pi r h square units. Okay, so substitute it in that equation. So your total surface area of the solid will be equal to, here again, as it is two hemispheres, one on top and one at the bottom, I have mentioned this to be 2 times of your 2 pi r square, okay, plus 2 pi r h. Here again, when you look at it, you have got 2 to be common on both the terms, pi to be common on both the terms, and r to be common on both the terms. So we have taken 2 pi r to be common and into, so what is left out in the first term? It is 2r plus hcy. Here again we have got, we know the values of r and that height of the cylinder. So we substitute it and end up with the answer. Is this clear for you all? Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay, fine. Now, we'll just move on to the next question. 27th question. I'll just read out and then we'll proceed further. Is that clear? So what is given in the 27th question? A hemispherical and a conical hole is scooped out of a solid wooden cylinder. Find the volume of the remaining solid where the measurements are as follows. Okay, so they have given a cylinder. I mean, you can just look out in the figure. Okay, and what is being given to us? The height of the solid cylinder is 7 centimeters. Okay, the height of the whole solid is given to be 7 centimeters. Now, radius of each of the hemisphere, cone and cylinder is 3 centimeters. So it is a common radius is being given. So that is why I have mentioned everything to be r itself without any suffix, as it is a common radius. Okay, r of hemisphere, r of cylinder and r of cone are the same. It is 3 centimeters. Now, what else is given? Height of the cone is 3 centimeters. So height of the cone, HC, it is 3 centimeters. And now, what else is given? That is all is being given to us. Okay, and give your answer correct to the nearest whole number taken. Pi is equal to 22 upon 7. Okay, here again you just need to find out the volume of the remaining solid. What is happening here? You have the solid here and now they are taking out cone from the top. Okay, they are removing some part, some part of this cylinder in the shape of cone. They are taking it outside. Okay, so this much part is going away, plus they are taking away some part of the cylinder in the shape of a hemisphere from the bottom. Okay, and you have been asked to find out the volume of the remaining solid. What is being left out? Volume of what is left out is what you need to calculate. So how do you find out the volume of the remaining solid?
Ma'am,
It will be
first
the
we
volume
add
of the
the
cone plus
and
the volume
sphere,
of the sphere
and then
minus
minus
the
it from the
volume of the
this
whole cylinder.
That's right. But volume of the whole volume of the cylinder will be bigger than your volume of cone and volume of hemisphere, right?
Ma'am, actually it should be volume of cylinder minus the volume of
Yes, ma'am.
cone plus hemisphere.
minus volume of hemisphere, okay? Because your cylinder is a bigger one, and from that a part of cylinder is your cone, which is being scooped out, and the part of hemisphere, part of cylinder is hemisphere, which is again scooped out. So these volumes are going to be smaller than your volume of the cylinder, okay? So the volume of remaining solid will actually be equal to the volume of cylinder minus of volume of cone plus volume of hemisphere. Or else if you're not putting this bracket, it should be volume of cylinder minus volume of cone minus volume of hemisphere. Is that clear? Now, volume of cylinder, what is the formula for volume of cylinder?
Ma'am, pi r square h.
Pi r square h cubic units. Volume of cone?
1/3 pi r
Pi r
square
square
h.
h. And volume of hemisphere 2/3 pi r cube. Okay, radius is common throughout, so I have written it without suffix. But the height of cone and height of cylinder should be distinguished. So you end up with the suffixes, and now you can substitute it, and you should end up with the answer. I think calculation I haven't done because it is a homework for you. Just to just to explain you how you find out the volume of the solid, I've given this. The remaining solid, I've just explained you with the formula. Now the substitution and the remaining calculation, you need to do it in your homework note. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
So now we'll move
Ma'am.
on to the 28th question.
Ma'am.
Yes?
Ma'am, actually, I was hearing homework notebook a lot, but I guess in 10th A, I don't know if I've mentioned it or not, but in 10th A, we've not made our homework notebooks.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it so you do it in classwork note itself?
Yes,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am. Nidhi ma'am had asked us to make a homework notebook.
No,
Yeah,
ma'am.
ma'am, but we did not have notebooks at that
Yes,
time.
we
had
didn't
only
have
one
notebook.
for math.
So she said to continue to one book only.
She has asked to continue in the same note.
Yeah, because
Yes.
she didn't receive the notebooks.
Okay, so as she has said, you can proceed, and ma'am will do it accordingly. Okay, fine. Okay, as how ma'am has said, you can just continue. She'll do it. She'll take care of it. Right? Okay, now we'll just move on to the 28th question. I'll just read it out. A cylinder, a hemisphere, and a core have equal base diameters and have the same height. Prove that their volumes are in the ratio 3:2:1. Okay. Now, what is being given to us? There's no figure, there's nothing, there's no values are given to us. So we'll just check out what is being given. A cylinder, you have a cylinder, you have a hemisphere, and you have a cone. And what is said about these? They have equal base diameters. So what can you say about their radius? Are they going to be equal, or they are not
Yes.
going to be equal?
Equal.
They are going to be equal.
Equal.
Because if diameters are same, for sure the radius is also going to be the same. So how can we represent the radius as? We'll represent it as a common radius, so we'll just have it as r itself. And what else is given? They have the same height. So volume of height is height of the cylinder is equal to the height of the core. So your HCY and HCO are equal. So you can take it to be H, just H alone. Okay. So now in all the formulas, you can just put represent their respective radius as R and their respective height as H. What are we supposed to calculate? You need to prove that their volumes are in the ratio 3:2:1. Now, how do you go for that? Did you understand this? I've put that, but we know that height of h, I mean the suffix is representing hemisphere. Okay, height of the hemisphere. Is the height of the hemisphere equal to its radius?
Yes.
People, you're there?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, we have seen it in the previous questions using the figures, but here I haven't mentioned the figure. But when you consider a hemisphere, its height is equal to its radius r. So what can you say about the relation between h and r? All h is equal to the common, they have got common height. So that is equal to just height h itself. So from this first equation, can you say that your h is also equal to r, which means their height is also same as their radius? Is that okay? Is this part clear for everyone? H is equal to r?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Got it? Okay, so now we'll go for finding out the volumes, the ratio of their volumes. So volume of cylinder is to, you should take it in the same order in which the question is being given. Okay, why I'm saying this is that if you take out in your own idea, then you cannot prove the volumes or in the ratio 3:2:1. You will get it as 1:2:3 or 2:1:3 in which order you have taken. Okay, so as they have asked you to prove that their volumes are in this ratio, you have to take it only in the order in which it is being given in the question. Okay, so first in the question you have got cylinder and then hemisphere H and then the cone CO. So we'll take it in the same order. Now what is the formula for volume of cylinder? Formula for
Pi
volume
r
of
square
cylinder.
h.
Pi r
Pi r
square
square
h.
h.
Volume of hemisphere?
2 by
By
3
3
pi r
pi r
cube.
cube.
Okay, volume of cone?
1 by 3 pi r
1
square
by 3
1 by 3
pi r square
pi r
h.
1 by 3 pi r square h.
Okay, now we'll just substitute it here. Okay, so what do we get? Okay, I've just mentioned the formulas here. No, okay, now we'll just substitute it. So pi r square h is to 2/3 pi r cube is to 1/3 pi r square h. Now, in all the formulae, the operation is multiplication. And now, so you can cancel whichever is common throughout. Pi is common throughout, so you can cancel it. R square is common throughout, you can cancel it. Here again, you have got r cube, so square goes off, only one r remains over here. So what is being left out now? H is to 2/3, R is to 1/3 H. Now, previous page, we just saw that your H is equal to R, right? We just arrived at that. So we make use of that here, that H is equal to R. So we substitute this H as R here. Here you just have R, so we'll keep it as such. And then H is again equal to R, so we have substituted it. Okay, so now again, when you look out all this proportion, R is common throughout. So you can cancel R throughout. So you just, you'll end up with 1:2/3 is to 1/3. See, unless and until they have asked you to prove that it is 3:2:1, you can just leave the calculation with this step. That is 2/3 is to 1/3. But here, as they have specifically asked you to prove the next part of it, we need to go for further simplification. Okay. So now how do we go for that? You need to end up with whole numbers, right? But here you have got fractions over here. So now how do we remove the fractions out of this? When you look at the first term alone, it is a whole number, which is 1. And when you look at the other two fractions, you have got 2/3 and 1/3. Now, if you are able to bring out the first term as something divided by 3, then you will have 3 common in the denominator, so that it will be easy for you to cancel it. Okay, so how do you bring that 3 in the first ratio or first, first one? So what do? We cannot just go on with just putting a 3 just in the denominator, which will end up which is complete wrong. So, but what we can do is that you can multiply and divide by a 3 so that no changes will be made to this number. Does 1 into 3 upon 3 make any changes to this number 1? It remains the same, right? If you cancel it, you just end up with 1 alone. Okay. So without making any changes to the initial number, we're just giving them a substitution just to make sure that we end up with a 3 in the denominator. So now you have got 3 common in the denominator of this proportion, and the first term of this will be 3 is to 2 is to 1. So that is what you want to prove. Is this clear for all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Is the calculation clear? Has anyone got doubts in the calculation?
Yes,
No.
ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, the afterwards then 1 is to 2 upon 3 is to 1 upon 3.
Yes.
The further step I didn't understand.
This 1 into 3 upon 3, this you did not understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, see, actually, as I said, yes.
Should we rejoin in 2 minutes, right?
Yeah, it will stop in 2 minutes. Please just log in once again at once, okay? I'll just explain
Yeah,
this
sure.
so that, see, you have been asked to prove that your answer should be 3 is to 2 is to 1, right? So we are trying to bring out this answer. As I told you earlier, if this 3 is to 2 is to 1 is not given in the question, you can just stop with this. There's no problem in that. But as we need to end up with whole numbers, we are trying to bring this fractions to whole numbers. So how do we bring that? In your second and third fraction, you have got 3 to be the common denominator in the second and third terms. Fine. So, if you have got 3 in the first term also, then you will be able to cancel all the denominators, common denominators, and you can end up with the whole number. Fine. So, only for that, we are making a slight adjustment. This is just an adjustment which we have made. So what adjustment are we making? You need a 3 in the denominator. So for that, you cannot just go and put your first number as 1 upon 3. That doesn't make sense, because then the whole answer becomes wrong. Okay. So if you need to put a 3 in the denominator, to make sure that nothing is happening to this one, you multiply a 3 in the numerator. Okay. So when this comes, you are just doing that 1 into 3 upon 3. What is 3 upon 3? It is nothing but 1. Okay. So that is why we are just making an adjustment here. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, and then we are cancelling it and just bringing out to a whole number. I think the